Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and happy Valentine's Day. I figured I'd do something a little different this time with the video and do a DIY. There's a few different things in here. Some things are easy, some things are a little more complicated, but they're all really cute. So the first thing we're making is an alcohol bouquet. Now for this, you're just gonna need little nips of alcohol, E6000 glue, some tape, some skewers, some rhinestones if you'd like, and styrofoam. Now the one that you just saw is not the styrofoam you need, but we will get to that later. You can opt in or out of rhinestoning your alcohol bottle. That's completely up to you and who you're giving this to. But if you are going to, you're going to need your alcohol bottle, you're going to need the glue, the rhinestones, and a toothpick. You're going to start by taking your bottle of alcohol, and you can do this any way you want. You can outline the label wherever you want the rhinestones to go. That's where you're going to put the glue, and it's easiest to do this in lines. You didn't even have to do it like I did here. You can do it one line individually, horizontally, vertically, however you want. But once you have the glue on there, you're going to grab your toothpick. You're going to take one end and dip it into the glue that's already on the bottle. Just a little is all you need. And then you're going to take that same end and dip it on the shiny side of your rhinestone, and it should pick right up, and put the flat side flat down, obviously self-explanatory, onto the glue. And that is literally it. And this process looks really tedious, but it kind of goes really fast once you get the hang of this little part right here. Now you can choose to stop here if you want, because that looks great as is. You can rhinestone the whole bottle, which I didn't do. I just did a little more of the label, but you know, go nuts, whatever you want to do. This is your project. These are just suggestions. Okay, once that dries, and it doesn't take too long to dry at all, you're going to take your skewer and you're going to make sure that the flat end is the part that we are attaching to the bottle, so that the pointy end can go into the styrofoam later. So you're going to start by taking a piece of tape, putting it over a part of the skewer and the bottle. And then for extra reinforcement, we're also going to take the glue and put it along the stick. And the stick should move pretty easily, so you can slide the stick around and make sure that the glue gets on all sides, and it'll stick right next to it. You don't have to put too much glue at all either. You see, you just wobble the stick around and then put one more piece of tape right on top of the glue while that's still wet. And that should hold it really well. And then when that's all dried, this is one I made earlier, that's how it'll stay and that's how it'll look. Now that you have that idea down, you can really do this with anything. It doesn't just have to be alcohol, as long as it's that kind of size and shape. So I'm going to show you how we do this with pieces of chocolate. And we're using the same exact steps: tape, glue, tape. So believe it or not, you can also put clothing on these skewers. You take a pair of socks and you start at the ankle point and put that on the stick and wrap at an angle going upward or downward. You'll have to see which looks better depending on the pair of socks you're using. And if you see here, I kind of did it upside down. You just take it off and flip it, no big deal. And then you take some tape, you know, a thick piece of tape works best, and it really will just hold it. This did anyway, this kind of tape. I'm not even sure what this kind is. It was just in my house. But it worked perfect. And then what you do is you take the top part, since it's on an angle, the fabric should come down, and then it kind of looks like a flower if you keep folding it out in the right direction. I did not find a way to perfect this doing the boxers. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look as good as the socks, but you know, whoever is looking at this gift later is going to understand exactly what you meant to do. But the good thing is that it stays pretty well on the skewer also, even though it's more fabric. Now to put it all together, this part is important. You're gonna want the thick, hard piece of styrofoam, not the soft kind. The first time I tried this with the soft kind, and that was a disaster. And that is why my shirt is different here, because this was a completely different day. And this was the second attempt. I got this cone styrofoam from Michael's. I think it was maybe $4 or so. Might have been less, I'm not even sure. Now, if you see, I'm struggling a little to put these skewers in, and that's a good thing, because that is going to keep the skewers in tight. All that pressure, that's why you need the harder one and not the softer one. It ripped right through the softer one, because the alcohol and everything else that's on these skewers have a little weight to them. So you need the hard styrofoam to hold these into place. Now, the way you put this together at the end is completely up to you. You can put all the alcohol, you can put all the candy, you can do a combination of anything that you made. I did a combination of everything just to give you a visual of what that might look like. And here I'm just showing you everything that didn't make the bouquet. There was just not enough room for everything. Alright, so now to put the finishing touches on. The easiest thing for me to do was to wrap the outside of the vase, since the cone took up all the inside. So I just took 2 pieces of tissue paper. I was looking for a plastic wrap, but I couldn't find one. Just gotta be careful with the tissue paper because it's more fragile. And then you can take any kind of ribbon or string that you have. I had pipe cleaners laying around, so I used that to wrap the tissue paper around to keep it held up around the vase. Alright, the next project is really simple. You just need a heart box of chocolates, more alcohol nibs, and the marker. Now, I didn't use any of the chocolates. You can if you want. I decided to just put all the alcohol inside. Now, what you want to make sure is that your alcohol fits into the box that you bought. Now, with this particular one, the Hennessy bottle is a little wide, but I decided to make it work anyway. And then to personalize it a little bit, you maybe just want to write a really heartfelt message onto the lid of the box so that when they open it, they know exactly how you feel about them. And then obviously you can do whatever you want with the inside of the box. I decided to go to the dollar store and pick up little cheap things to fill it in and decorate it up a little bit. For the last project, we're making Dynamite chocolate sticks. So you're gonna need paper, scissors, a stapler, and some small chocolates. I use Ferrero Rochers. I don't even know how you say that. Those are my favorite chocolates. But you could also use Reese's. Those were 2. So instead of red paper, I used a red folder, mostly because that's what the dollar store had, but it actually worked out a lot better because of the material of the folder. It held the candies together even better. Now this part's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna let you watch. Now for the string part that you would light on fire to set the dynamite off, you could use a bunch of things. You could use a black string, you could use a straw, but I had these wire ties laying around. These are also from the dollar store, but they were brown, so I just painted them black with a marker. And I took 3 and divided the 3 at the bottom and literally stuck them right in to the little dynamite cone things and left it hanging up. And that was that. Again, there's a bunch of ways to do that part. And I love this one because it's so simple and so cute. and it's kid friendly. You can literally give it to anybody. It could be to your friends, your siblings, co-workers. And then when you're all done, you can jazz it up any way you want. You can add little things. I bought the balloon and the flowers from the dollar store. Any extra things that you want to add, that's all on you. So I really hope that you guys like this DIY. It was a lot of work, a lot more work than I was prepared for. And that's why this video is up so late, because it was a lot of recording and re-recording and redoing some things that didn't work out. But I'm really happy with the results. I hope you guys like it. If any of you use any of these, please let me know in the comments. And if you post anything on Instagram, tag me so I can see. I'm at Aristella. Guys, have a great Valentine's Day. Love you so much. I'll see you in the next video.